Last time, we were able to explore the different features of this extraordinary SUV, the Santa Fe. This time, we will be exploring the functions applied to this vehicle to enrich your lifestyle and the space that you will be sharing with your passengers. Let's take a look. There are two unique points in the first row of the Santa Fe, and the first is right here. Press this button and the storage unit opens. And there is a UVC lamp inside, which means that it has sterilizing functions. If you want to sterilize something like your wallet that you carry around every day, simply put it in, close the unit, and press the UVC button here, and the disinfecting process begins. I mentioned that there are two special features in the first row. This is the second one right here, the center console. So anyone in the driver's or passenger's seats can open the center console like this. But it can also be opened from the second row like this. So this is basically a multi-console that opens two ways. This is convenient because even someone in the second row can open this to grab something. And hey, while we're in the second row, let's see what functions there are. There is another storage space for our second row passengers aside from the bilateral multi-console. Right here. Pulling here, like this, reveals a pretty big sliding tray. You could store other belongings here too. This right here, above the second row window button, is the second row seat warmer button. There are 3 levels of intensity, starting from the highest level with the first tap. You can also adjust the second row seat warmer from the AVN monitor. The sunshade is right here, below the window. Simply take up this handle, pull it up, and hang it on the hook at the end of the window. All doors, aside from the driver's seat, open after pulling twice, like this. Now, let's take a step outside and take a look at the tailgate space, the very essence of an SUV. Oh, before that, let me show you something. This is also a feature unique to the Santa Fe, the hidden assist handle. Press this with your hand, and it turns into a handle which you can use to easily access the roof. You might be concerned that this might open during driving. In this case, you can use your mechanical key to lock the handle. And if you need to use the handle, just bring the car to a stop and turn the mechanical key to unlock it. There's one more thing that I want to show you before we open the tailgate. The rear windshield wiper is a must for SUVs. So you might be wondering where that is for our Santa Fe. It's hidden right here. There are 4 ways that we can open the tailgate. The first is to simply press the tailgate button on your smart key. You can also use the button on the left side of the driver's seat or the one on the exterior of the tailgate to open it. The last way is to just approach the tailgate while holding the smart key, and it will open by itself. This is the smart tailgate function, and it comes in really handy, especially when your hands are full. If you look here, this third row seat is currently folded, but it's super easy to fold and unfold. Simply pull the strap here, and the seat back easily unfolds. Now that this is available, let's take a seat. When you open up the door to the second row and look inside, you might think, how do I get in the third row? However, let's take a look right here. If you use the third row access switch on the shoulder of the outside section of the second seat, the seat back folds and the seat moves forward. If you need more space, pull the lever under the second row seats and move the seat forward manually. What do you think? You have a lot more space now. What you'll want to do as soon as you get in the third row is adjust the angle of the seat back. Pull this strap right here. Then, give a little push to find a more comfortable angle. You can also pull on the strap behind the seat to adjust the angle in advance. And oh, don't forget to pull up the headrest. Now, let's take another look. Here's the air vent, and right beside it, there is an air conditioning switch for the third row. You can adjust the air volume by yourself without having to ask whoever's driving for help. You can even turn it off and on like this. It's also easy to fold the third row. First, lower the headrest as much as possible. Pull the strap you used to unfold the seat, then give a little push, and it will fold. Now that we're done with the third row, let's also try the second row. The second row is a bit easier, since you can just use this button you see right here. I would recommend you lower the headrest for this as well before you fold the seats. There we go. What do you think? It's a lot of space, isn't it? There won't be any issue with load, whether it's for a picnic or for camping or fishing. This even holds up to 3 bicycles. So far, we've explored functions in the interior of the Santa Fe, but now it's time to give it a drive. Since we've already adjusted the seat, rear view mirror, and side view mirrors to our preferences last time, let's start the car right away. If you have your smart key, we can go ahead and press the start button. If you have your fingerprint registered, you can even use fingerprint recognition to start your vehicle. Let's verify first with the fingerprint recognition sensor, then press the start button. In case you want to adjust the interior temperature in advance, like in summer or winter, let's use the remote start function. You can either use the BlueLink application or the smart key. If you're using the smart key, press the lock button when you're within 10 meters of the car. Then press down on the hold button within the next 4 seconds. This will start the car. There are quite a few instances while driving where you have to adjust the lights. In these instances, the light switch is on the left side of the steering wheel. Turn it up a notch, and the auto headlight will activate. And you probably won't need to do anything else for the most part, because it will switch the light on and off automatically. If you turn it up another notch, only the position lights come on. And another notch turns on both the headlights and position lights. If you need to drive when it's dark with no street lights, you'll need your high beams. In that case, put the light switch on auto, then push the light switch once in the direction of the cluster. The cluster will then display the auto high beam assist light. This basically automatically adjusts between the high and low beams. If you pull the light switch in the direction of your body, you can also flash your high beam manually. But keep in mind that this could cause a disturbance for other cars coming in the opposite direction. So it would be better to only use this function when absolutely necessary. The wiper washer fluid switch is right here. Pull it down once and it will activate once. Push it up once and you activate auto wiper mode. You can also use the knob right next to it to adjust the speed of the wiper. For the Santa Fe, there's another wiper on the rear glass, and you can activate that using this switch right here. Push it up one notch, and it will go at a regular speed. And the second notch will give you a higher speed. Sometimes, you need to use the washer fluid. For the windshield, simply pull the washer switch towards your body. This will spray the washer fluid and will automatically activate the wiper as well. For the rear windshield, push the switch forward, and the washer fluid will keep spraying and the rear wiper will be activated for as long as you're pushing. Now that we've covered all the basic functions, we're going to start exploring different functions that we may need when driving. First, the auto hold button. Activating the auto hold will allow the car to stay immobile even when you take your foot off of the brake, which is handy when there's a lot of traffic. If you want to start moving again, step lightly on the accelerator pedal. This is the drive mode switch. Turning it downwards will switch driving modes from Eco, Sports, and My Drive. And pressing it once will change it to Terrain mode. This distributes driving power automatically according to each mode, under conditions where movement can be unstable, such as in snow, mud, or sand. Next to it is the DBC, the Downhill Brake Control button. Pressing on this button will allow you to travel safely on a downhill path by keeping a constant speed when driving down a slope. These switches behind the steering wheel are the paddle shifters. They have two roles according to the powertrain. If you have an internal combustion engine model, you can manually shift gears up and down with the paddle shifters. And if you have a hybrid model, you can adjust the level for regenerative braking. Let's take a road trip. We would have to go on the freeway for this. And this is where the Smart Cruise Control would be very convenient. It's also surprisingly easy to use. You can use the buttons on the left side of the steering wheel that we took a brief look at in our previous session. Try pressing this button. One push will let you maintain your current speed and your preferred distance from other vehicles. If you want to change your cruise speed, adjust this switch up or down. Continuing to push up or down on the switch will adjust the speed in increments of 10 kilometers per hour. And pressing the switch will temporarily pause the Smart Cruise Control function. In the opposite scenario, where you stepped on the brake to temporarily pause the function, pressing this switch will reactivate it. If you want to turn it off completely, simply press this driving assist button again. Now let's come back to Smart Cruise Control mode. If you want to adjust the distance between you and other vehicles, try using this button right here. This will automatically adjust the distance from the car in front of you, according to predetermined distances of levels 1 to 4. This button right here, with the steering wheel icon, controls the lane following assist function. Briefly pressing this button while your car is running will activate the lane following assist, and it will make your vehicle automatically stay in the same lane while driving. Continuing to push this button activates the lane keeping assist function, which sounds the lane departure warning when the vehicle veers out of the lane, along with vibration to the steering wheel. It will also help you get back in your lane. Pressing down on this button one more time for a few seconds will deactivate this function. If you turn on Smart Cruise Control while lane following assist is activated on the freeway, you can experience the highway driving assist function. It actively adjusts the vehicle's speed while also keeping a safe distance with other vehicles during high-speed drives. In case you are driving at speeds of over 60 kilometers per hour and a vehicle is approaching in the adjacent lane, Highway Driving Assist can even help you avoid possible danger by driving at the edge of the opposite lane. Your car will even automatically switch lanes if you activate your turn signals while using HDA. Now that we've explored functions related to driving, let's look at the functions that we'll be using to park. If you need to pass through a narrow alley, try using this button. You can use your camera to check your surroundings using surround view or 3D view. This is very handy, especially in narrow alleyways or parking spaces. This button right here is the parking assist button. You can either activate or deactivate the warning function for parking distance, and when it's activated, you'll see something like this on your cluster. When you're reversing, the rear monitor activates with the AVN displaying the rear view. You can then access the parking guide and parking distance information. When you need to leave your parking space by reversing, but there is a car approaching from the rear, the sensor will notify you with warning sounds and messages. If the vehicle still does not come to a stop, it will deploy emergency braking. You can also adjust your settings so that the side view mirrors face downwards when you park. Step on the brakes while reversing. Select the left and right side view mirror buttons and adjust the angles for each. When you're done, put the button back in a neutral position. Finish parking and switch to the parking gear. This will allow the side view mirrors to automatically face downwards in the future whenever you have to reverse. Oh no, there's not enough room to get out of the car. Well, let's try using this function. First, line up your car in front of the parking space, put it in park, and then press down on the parking view button for a few seconds. Then, get out of your car, close the doors and the tailgate, then press the forward or backward button on the smart key. This will allow you to park safely in narrow spaces, even when you're not in the vehicle. Then, use the hold button on the smart key to turn the vehicle off, and the parking brake will activate automatically. The same steps will allow you to turn your car on remotely and then move it forward or backward to safely get it out of the parking space. Now we've finished with everything up to parking. What do you think? There are a lot of features, huh? But do not worry, you'll get used to them. The last thing I want to walk you through is filling up the gas. The fuel tank is located in the rear on the driver's side. In case you forget which side it's on, simply check for the fuel icon on the cluster and you'll be able to find it in the direction that the arrow is pointing. You don't even need to use a separate switch or lever to open it, just press down on its door and it will open. However, I would recommend that you open it when the vehicle is completely off and the doors are all unlocked. You can open the fuel cap by rotating it counterclockwise. And don't forget to close the cover again when you're done. We were able to explore the important functions in the Santa Fe. How do you feel now? To be honest, there are even more features that we couldn't cover in today's session. However, do not worry. In the owner's manual that you received along with your Santa Fe, there is plenty of explanation on not only the functions we explored, but also other features that you may find useful. So give that a read, and you'll be able to utilize the Santa Fe not 100%, but 200%. This was Brett, providing you with the Santa Fe walkthrough. Thank you for watching.